Hello, I'm AgaxToyCat and welcome back to another facecam video. That's right, I'm alive here in the flesh, or at the very least I'm pretending to be. I might just be lip-syncing over a previous video. Let's be honest, I talk so fast you probably wouldn't notice, but today we're here because I wanted to talk about first world Minecraft problems. This is something I run across all the time myself, where it's like, oh no, my shovel's so enchanted that when I'm breaking a stack of dirt down, it breaks too fast and I take damage, like, oh, biggest cube world problem, right? But I actually found a subreddit dedicated to just these things, and although it's years old, I think it'd be kind of fun to go through the very top of all time, and a lot of them just, they fascinate me. They're like, oh, I felt that too. And I figured, why not make this video to see if some of you have felt these exact same Minecraft first world problems, because a lot of these made me realize, like, you know what, that is kind of ridiculous, right? And yeah, Minecraft first world problems, hopefully you all do enjoy the video. Like if you do like it, because it helps out the channel a lot, and let us know you do like this sort of video, and also, it feeds the wife and kids. I mean, that's really important, right? If you don't like the video, their blood will be in your hands. I mean, if that's a thing you want, then just don't like the video. But yeah, I realize, by the way, every time I say that, I should probably clarify it's a joke. There's got to be like some percent of people who are like, wait, is he being serious? And the answer to that question is no. Or am I? But yeah, let's get straight into the very first cube world problem here, or the last. We're going to go from top to bottom bottom to top as always, or not to bottom, but like, you know, off the top, we're going to start from like the 20th down, which is actually going to be, I made my farm too big, and now it's taking forever to plant. This is an issue they had in creative, but it's actually a really ridiculous issue when you think about it. Like, oh yeah, so I just kept making my farm bigger and bigger, and now I have to plant the whole thing, and it just takes way too much time out of my day. And this one struck eerily true for me. Even though this is 6 years old, this is something that I do to this day. Think about it. The sugarcane farm in my world, it's so big that I can't like properly reharvest it if I chopped it all the way down, or like I just have to wait and I can't harvest the whole thing. But then think about my wheat farm. It's just like there's so much there. My potato farm, everything I do in Minecraft, I make so big that it's kind of like annoying to reharvest, so I just never do. I just leave it fully harvested, and that is a Minecraft first world problem. My farm is just too big that I can't harvest it by myself. The second cube world problem, or again going up the list here, we've got playing on peaceful to get away from monsters and then not being able to tame the wolves that they find. And again, this is a really serious one for peaceful players. I don't personally play on peaceful. This one didn't strike me, but I know a lot of peaceful players are like, well, I want dogs because dogs are cute in Minecraft, but I can't have them playing on peaceful, and I don't like all the other mobs. So you gotta decide, at the very least you did have to at the time of this post. 6 years ago, by the way, this subreddit's like really an ancient gem that's been like lost for like 5 or 6 years, but that's why I'm coming back to it today with more first cube world problems. Like, I laid out all the ingredients to craft the recipe, and I just need to place some sticks, but I forgot to first make sticks from logs, and now I have to start all over. And that is a genuine thing. Whenever you're in like the crafting thing, you're like, well, let's make, you know, like a pickaxe. You place all the things, you place your stick, you only have one stick, and now you have to like make another one, which means you have to get rid of all the stuff you have already. It's really, really frustrating, and that is actually a first world Minecraft problem. I don't know, it's not too first world, because when you're making like a pickaxe, it's not a big deal, but it really gets on my nerves, and it is a problem I run into in the Minecraft cube world. Next up, I can't play the Pocket Edition on my laptop. That's actually not true anymore. You can actually play, if you have a Windows 10 laptop, you can play the Pocket Edition, but again, 6 years old, and that was like a real issue for some people. Like, you know what, my PC is not powerful enough to run the Java version, but it's also not Android, so it can't run the really watered down version for phones. I just want to play Minecraft. And again, that was a real issue back then. Next up, we've got I missed the 404 challenge. And does anyone else miss the 404 challenge? Until I read this, I'd forgotten about it for years, but the 404 challenge was one of my favorite challenges from way back at the start of Minecraft console, 360 even. It was never on other consoles. Basically, it was a challenge where you start with a gravel world. Back when gravel didn't look awful, it looked pretty bad to be fair. But you start with a whole like layer of gravel. I'll show you something hopefully in the background. And then like you break one of the blocks of gravel, the whole thing sinks, and it makes this huge survival cave, and like you have lower hearts. Basically, it was a crazy survival challenge, and that was nuts that generation. We've never seen anything like it ever since, and I miss it just a little bit. And you know, it was a cool seed too. So next up, I found a large diamond vein, but I only have cobblestone pickaxes. That is okay. This is where the cube world problem thing really comes in. Like, yeah, I found diamonds, but I found them so early that I can't mine them quite yet. Real issue, run into it all the time, especially with the, you know, the worlds I showed up on Seed Sunday, where it's like, well, you go down a cave and then there's diamonds just in front of you. That always happens where you're like, well, I guess we have to go back up and mine ourselves, you know, some iron now, which again, real first world Minecraft problem. Then we've got this one here, which I honestly, this is such a ridiculous one, right? But I can't decide if I want to sleep in the left bed or the right bed. For some reason, it's just a thing in Minecraft that you have have two beds next to each other, you know, like sometimes because you maybe want to invite someone over, or you just want to have a double bed, whatever it is. And, you know, when you have two beds, you're like, which bed should I sleep in? I genuinely run into this issue all the time. I just like mix up between the two, but some people who want to have that consistent bed to sleep in are like, which one makes more sense? You can't have a triple bed, that's not a logical thing, and that is the true definition of like, whoa, I've come to the point so far in Minecraft that, you know, the issue of which bed I sleep in is the biggest thing I worry about. So then next up we've got I cleared out so much space in my town that I'm not sure I can fit it all out. You know, when you go through these hours of like destroying this flat land, and then you're like, I'm not sure what to do with this. Funnily enough, this is actually the reason why I have that huge flat land in my world. I was like, I'll build something here eventually, and then the flat land got so big I was like, I don't think I can build something there. I'd just be wasting the flat land, and that's why I never built something, and that's why I just have this huge flat land, because of this exact Minecraft first world problem. That's what I'm talking about when I say like, wow, it hits me right in the feels. Even though this is 5 years old, it just hit me right in the heart, right in the Minecraft Let's Play world. Then we've also got, I just finished placing a huge obsidian wall, but it's one block too far to the right. It's the same with glass, right? When you realize like, okay, you're gonna place this, oh, I placed that wrong, and you can't just undo and redo. And even if I wanted to, it'd be a whole issue. And, you know, especially if you place it like, you know, a huge wall like this and it's the right like that, well, let's just tear down the whole wall. Honestly, what I'll do in those situations with stuff like that, I feel like the right thing to do is like, let's tear this down then. I'll just be like, how about we just make it one block out? And I do that all the time, like, even with like other blocks, like, well, I placed 100 cobblestone, I don't want to destroy and replace it, so I guess this is just meant to be one block out. You know, asymmetry is beautiful. This is that exact problem. That's the exact reason I do it. And again, I love all this on here. So we've also got every time, you know, Notch mentions what a new patch will bring, I lose interest in my current world. 6 years ago, back when Notch was still running the game. But this is something that's true to this day, right? Like, when you hear about Woodland Mansions, it's hard to be excited about what we have already. Like, oh, I guess Ocean Monuments are cool. But wouldn't Woodland Mansions be cooler? When you hear about, like, the Ocean Aquatic update, you're like, oh, oceans are boring now. I don't want to go to an ocean until this update, when you find the treasure ships and stuff. That is true to this day, and I thought that was kind of interesting. Then also, we've got, I accidentally broke one of the blocks on my giant mushroom house, and now I need to tear it down. That was before mushroom blocks existed. You had to just, like, work around them. And, you know, I've done this exact same thing. You punch a hole in the wall, now you're like, well, this mushroom's useless for anything now. Large biomes are too big, normal biomes are too small. Exact problem you have on 360 right now, right? Like, you turn small biomes on, and your biomes are non-existent, you never find structures. You turn on medium biomes, it's like, it's almost a really reasonable size. Then you turn on large biomes, it's like, well, I have a world that's just entirely desert now. You don't really get to pick between the three things, and I think that's interesting, that, like, on the PC, it's, like, way worse. You found, like, 10,000, you know, like, block biomes sometimes. It's crazy. This exact problem. Swear I ran into it. Spent 50 levels on a pickaxe, got Unbreaking 3. Oh, I feel for that guy right there. I punched down the first tree I saw, and water went everywhere. That's not one I've ever run into, actually. Have you run into that one? I have not personally. Found emerald early, have nothing to mine it with. So emerald is the rarest ore in the game by just total occurrence rate, and that is a genuine thing you run into. It's like the diamond thing, where you're like, yeah, I did something, and I guess I can't take this thing. And you just see the emerald in front of you, and you're like, but I want to do something with it. And then we have just a few more of these left. I built something with a texture pack in mind, so it doesn't look as good to the rest of the server. Genuine real thing again. Always happens with texture packs. Like, this is the reason I don't play with them, because it's like, if you build something for this texture pack, it looks objectively bad in all the rest. That's, you know, besides vanilla translates into everything, and then everything else only translates into vanilla, usually. Just a fun little thing right there. And then if I wanted to turn this lava into obsidian, I want to turn the lava into obsidian so it's safe to walk on, but then I'd have to place a bunch of torches. Yes, exactly, right? Like, you find the big lava patch and you're like, well, that's horrifically dangerous, but it is a source of light and it's keeping me safe. Whereas if you place the thing down, everything goes dark, you have to torch it up. That's terrible. Real first world Minecraft problem where it's like, oh, I'll just keep the lava around because I'm too lazy. And then finally, the very most cube world of cube world problems is I want to find gold, but I keep finding diamonds. I want a railroad, goddammit, and that is the most upvoted cube world problem of all time. And let's be honest, that is the biggest cube world problem for me at the very least. Like, oh yeah, so you go mining, you're like excited by iron because you want to get beacons, you want to find gold so you can make you know, railroad things, or even just want to make beacons out of that too. And then you just find diamond after diamond after diamond, and you're like, I guess this is positive. It's hard to say this is a negative, but I won the railroad, and I'm glad that someone else experienced that. I'd love to know in the comments down below. Again, the whole point of this video was like, I hope some of you got some feels from this, because a lot of these just remind me of like some of the most basic Minecraft survival problems that I run into every single time I get really deep into a world, and I wanted to know if it was just me, or if these people are just like happening to hit me again, this is the feels apparently, my feels are in the heart, but I'd love to know what you found on this in the comments down below. Like this if you did like it, because it helps out the channel a lot. Let's know you do like these sorts of videos. Share if you really liked it, and subscribe if you're new around here, because I make videos like this one every single day on my channel. And if you subscribe, you'll see them daily on your homepage. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.